Joining us to help make sense of all of this is one of our regular guests on Matters of Economics, Roben Farzad, a senior writer for BusinessWeek here in New York. Welcome back.
Martin, thanks for having me.
Here we are, 6 months into 2009. Where would you say the global economy stands?
Not as harrowed, not as terrified as it was last fall, but that may be the only comfort we have so far, that maybe the pace of decline is plateauing. But there are some bright spots, especially in Asia and other extremes of the world. We're just looking to get direction after this epic economic calamity that took everybody down.
You know, I think you're very right in the sense that many people forgot just how terrifying those dark days really were. But now we want to feel a sense of confidence. And is there this confidence that perhaps we're on the verge of this recession ending?
The numbers are all over the place. You see pockets of strength again in Asia, such as China has stronger than expected manufacturing numbers coming out. But at the same time in the United States, we're hanging our hats on the fact that the pace of manufacturing declines have slowed down. I mean, you know, slowing down losses has become the new winning in effect. The question is this all so much backward-looking navel-gazing, or actually on the brink of robust economic growth again? That verdict is still out.
Then we have unemployment that continues to rise. Right. I mean, how long is it going to go in that direction? Unemployment
is, of course, a lagging indicator, and firms are still purging their payrolls, and we're definitely going to break that staggering 10% threshold. But in other countries, you're seeing really, for example, in Europe, the social safety net there is really taking hold. So it's buffered the effects of this deep recession. While you have the likes of France and Scandinavian countries certainly feeling this slowdown, not exporting as much as they'd like to, not anywhere near full employment. Unemployment is not as painful abroad because countries have stronger healthcare support systems, welfare systems, unemployment insurance. So there's been a lot of soul searching about this over the past 6 months.
Well, and you bring up Europe, and I did want to break this down sort of regionally. How difficult are the challenges for the European economies?
Europe is absolutely not a monolith. Western Europe even, I mean, you can break it down into granularity. England is somewhat of a basket case right now. It had its credit rating lowered. Germany is, seeing worse days than now. Scandinavia has issues in terms of Sweden investing in Estonia and other these Baltic countries. And then Eastern Europe is a whole other bag of issues. These Iron Curtain countries who've really had spectacular growth in the 90s and for much of this decade are really experiencing their first bona fide contagion. And it's all interconnected. So if you ask, well, the UK versus Spain versus France are three completely separate things. You throw in the ECB, the common currency, and Euro economies, some are experiencing higher unemployment than others. It's very hard to say at this point, and we don't know what is going to get these countries out of their morass.
I want to bring Asia in before we run out of time. You know, we've heard a report about the consumer spending in Asia. How likely is it that increased demand on the part of Asian consumers will help get us out of this economic jam?
That is a huge question because the doubt right now is looking back, China in that period of 10% economic growth, this Chinese miracle of it being the manufacturing hub for the world. How much of that was fed by froth, by kind of the false prosperity of the Western economies and their credit bubbles, and, for example, taking cash out of your McMansion and its mortgage 4 years ago and plowing that into an LCD TV that was purchased from China? Well, that's money that shouldn't have been spent. Right now, the Chinese economic regulators are infusing all sorts of money into the system and hoping to keep the manufacturing base going, because the virtuous cycle there is people coming in from the countryside, moving to the city, becoming more upwardly mobile, getting factory jobs. Can China go it alone? That's the huge question. And it's ironic because the contagion 10 or 11 years ago was the other way around. Asia falling apart and looking to the United States as a readout of safety.
Roben Farzad, we've got to end it there. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
We'll
Martin.
look forward to having you back.
Likewise.